Hey there, party people, it's time for the final, well, penultimate, I guess, tier list for Fate Grand Order servants. We're doing all the extra class servants, which is double the amount of servants for each individual tier list before. So, to stop this from being an hour-long video, I'm going to keep the placements as brief as possible. There will probably be times I go on like a little tangent, but don't expect me to say too much in this video, because otherwise, both you and I are going crazy. And you may ask why I don't just split this into 2 videos. And it's because I'm not a goddamn coward. Now let's get started. First, we got the Kohai Mosh. EX, obviously, yeah. Jeanne d'Arc Ruler gets A tier. She's fine, she's good, I enjoy her. Little bit white bread for me. Shiro Amakusa gets B tier, just purely because he confuses me. I don't really understand him. Like, I understand like his personality and stuff like that, I just don't understand his existence. Edmond Dantes gets B tier, which is probably gonna get me crucified, but by God, I don't... Like, he's cool, but he's so overhyped, honestly. Jolter EX tier. Yeah, feel free to continue crucifying me, because... Yeah, that's hypocritical of me. Angry Mango gets A tier because Angry Mango is cool and needs to do more things. Punch Saint goes into EX tier because she is Punch Saint. I love her. Gorgon gets A tier because big and cool. Hessian Lobo I am conflicted on because on one hand I like the Legend of the Headless Horseman. I like Dullahans. Lobo's cool, but I don't... C tier. Melt gets EX tier because I love Melt. Passion Lip gets A tier because I don't have a good explanation. But like the vibe. The vibe. BB gets B tier for B. Okay, actually she's A tier, I just wanted to make the joke. Kiara also gets A tier because conceptually she's an amazing character. Like, the entire absolute concept, the story behind her is fundamentally amazing. But also, it's just like, as a character, I don't vibe with that too much. Sherlock gets B tier because day 1 he's been sus and annoying. Mecha Ellie gets A tier because, yeah, she's Elizabeth, but she also hates Elizabeth, so I can't give her EX tier for that. Mecha Ellie Mark II gets B tier because they don't do enough with them being different characters. While I like the joke of them just being the exact same character mechanically, personality-wise, I feel like they could have a little more fun with that, and they just kind of don't. Abby gets EX tier because Abby is amazing. She is my daughter, she is the goodest girl of all time. Love Abby, or suffer. Hokusai gets EX tier, she's grown on me a lot because... At first I was just kind of mid on her, she's like, oh yeah, cool, but like the more she pops up in stories and stuff, I love her more and more. Salieri gets EA tier just because of the really cool first and third ascensions. His backstory is cool too, don't get me wrong. His whole deal is cool, but he's mostly carried by how sick he looks. Okita Alter gets A tier. She used to be EX tier, but then Okita Alter Summer came out and had such an amazing dynamic with Rengoku that base normal Okita Alter does not compare. Summer BB gets A tier because Unrestrained summer fun BB is just a terrifying concept, and she also adds fascinating lore to foreigners, which will be a topic of video soon. Mysterious Heroine Double X gets EX tier because she's really just trying to do a 9 to 5. She's just like me for real. Sitanai gets, where to put Sitanai? I'm gonna put Sitanai into EX tier, because, fundamentally, Stay Night Ilya is one of my favorite Fate characters, and she's using Stay Night Ilya as a base. And, on top of that, it's just a fun character to use. It's like really good, a fun character to play with. And also, when she actually had that Berserker scene with Heracles, good stuff. I'm gonna put Shi Huangdi into A tier. That feels right for Mothman. That definitely feels right. Yeah. Really wish they would have let us fist fight. Samba Santa gets EX tier because Samba Santa is just amazing as a concept. Everything about it is just an amazing concept. King Protea gets EX tier because big. And big is good. Astrea gets EX tier because Luvi is great, fundamentally, but also just suplex of justice. Janako gets EX tier. Once again, she is just like me for real. Mao Nobu gets EX tier because fundamentally one of the greatest characters ever produced. Flat out, period. No, anything about that. With the character that's about to come up, I could have split this character up into 3 because they are technically 3 different characters. Though, first stage is just normal Archer Nobu, just as an Avenger now. The second Nobu, I've honestly never experienced because I'm just fully on board with Mao Nobu. And either way, they were all going to EX tier anyway. So, here we are. Okay, I am also realizing I'm putting a lot into EX tier. And that's going to be a problem later. When I make the final video. I have to be a bit more exacting with it. And to that end, I'm putting Summer Arturia, the goddess Ragdamidia, into A tier? Begrudgingly? I can't. It's so fun. Such a fun character. Such a fun concept. Such a stupid concept. Oh, God. That last video is going to be painful. Because I can't blitz it like this one. Let's see here. Now, here's the character I was talking about with, Space Ishtar. So, first we got Astrid, who I'll put into B tier. I wasn't really fond of Astrid as a character. Like, mechanically, Space Ishtar is all across the board EX tier. Let's be real here. So, to split it up, since they are 3 different characters in one servant, I am going to count each one based on character in this. Gameplay's not factoring in at all. So the Space Ishtar that we know, the one that we interact with in the story, is getting EX tier because she's fun. She's amazing. And the final one, the goddess one, is getting C tier because just the whole lack of human emotion kind of thing is just like kind of a bland character from what I remember. It's been a while, but that's my like impressions of them. Yang is getting C tier only because she refuses to come home. If you just came home, you would have been an A tier. But you refuse. You're being obstinate, and I don't care for it. Voyager's in the EX tier. Lore for this channel, I've been fascinated with Voyager and Fate Requiem since it was first announced, and I made some videos that did well for where my channel was at the time. So, I owe a lot to Voyager to kind of be where I am right now with the channel. So I love Voyager. I'm gonna put Summer Kiata into EX tier for a similar... No, not similar at all. I have no idea what I was talking about, but unrestrained summer fun Kiata is terrifying, and also has like Little Mermaid stuff mixed in, which is fun. It's cool. What is up with the dominatrix, second thing? That swimsuit's okay, but for some reason we can't get Summer Passion Lip. Summer Abby gets EX tier. Even if I, like, was less of a fan of normal Abby, this Abby would be EX tier just because of the Summer story, and also, she's the Pope! Before we actually got the other Pope. That we don't actually have yet in ENA, but we're getting a Pope. But we had this one first. Abby Pope. Himiko's getting EX tier. Fundamentally, my favorite ruler. Himiko is a blessed character. In every respect, from design to personality to mechanics are just fun. The big punching. Clytie Van Hu is getting, B tier, because I will never not be conflicted by them, because I like the character, the character's fine. I love Van Gogh. So, to have this character be like 5% Van Gogh kinda kills me inside, and I still feel it's unnecessary, and wish it was different, and hate that I feel this way because, again, I like the characterization. I just don't like the concept. Asya Doman has honestly really just grown on me as really just a comedic character, just like being the butt of jokes kind of character. That's where I find him the most entertaining. So that's all I really gotta say about him. I just remember Nagiko's interlude where she hit him in the eye with orange juice point blank without even actually seeing him, perfect aim and everything. That made me really love him, watching him suffer. Kagekiyo's going into B tier because cool character, fun to use. She is a bit weird and confusing though, story-wise and concept. Like, I understand it, and I'm fine with it, but it's also kind of like one of those things just like, that's a choice to make. Karen gets EX here because we need a costume that is super baby god Karen. I don't care what anyone says. That is the best shit. That is the best story in writing in Fate Grand Order. The introduction of super baby god Karen. I will fight every single one of you in order to make this a reality. I swear to Christ. Mysterious Idol X is getting, A tier? Not because she's a bad character or anything, but because I was reminded in my, video about the costumes that we need in Fate Grand Order, that she had a costume in that event, the, like, costume event, that we didn't get for some mysterious reason. That is just confusing as hell, and I can't believe I forgot about that. I just locked away that trauma somewhere deep in my heart. But genuinely, great character. Horrifically missed opportunity that just doesn't make sense and feels malicious on purpose. Oberon's getting A tier. I love that he facilitates Melusine destruction. That's the most I care about him for. Story-wise, I love Lost Belt 6, and I love his story and role in it. But also, he's just like a confusing character to wrap my head around. Because his introduction and just kind of set the Pretender class on a really weird footing. And every Pretender after that is just confusing, and it stems from how confusing he is. Like, I understand his story, I understand how everything about him happened. But when we get to the point with like how the class works and operates, it just kind of starts falling apart. Like, you could explain it to me, and I could explain it to you in like writing and words, like, and it would be correct. But it's also a whole bunch of but and if and loopholes and stuff like that. Like, we all have the correct information, but if we compile all the information together, there are holes in it that just can't be rectified and are overcomplicated somewhat. So I don't know, it's just a big mess. Summer Mini Vinci is getting A tier because I forgot she had robot dinosaurs with her. Like, they focus on Steggy, and I love Steggy. I love her in the event and everything. But she has robot dinosaurs that they never really talk about or address or pop up. And I'm just like, what's their story? Where do they come from? Where do they fit into this? Why do you have them? Like, they don't talk about that. And they don't show up or talk to them or anything like that. And I feel that's also a missed opportunity. And just like, why? Why are they there? Why are they in your art? They'd be fun. They could have shenanigans with Steggy. Like, she could have just made them to be friends with Steggy kind of thing. It's like, be as close to your own kind as you can kind of thing. That would have been great. But no, we didn't get that. They just exist and are confusing and look like mascots. Summer Comic gets 8. EX tier. I kind of like the goofy side of Kama in this, and again, goes back to my thing of Fire Bikini being okay, that's practically naked. But Summer Passion Lip is too out of the question. The hell are you talking about? Jacques is getting, B tier. Mostly carried by the design, because fundamentally the character is just an oddity. Like, interacting with her was just kind of meh. I didn't really care for, like, the interaction of the story. It was very meh. The concept is odd. But she also adds another thing of lore to foreigners that, again, is going to be addressed in it's going to be addressed in a future video. I am losing it here. But yeah, the design is amazing. I love her design. But the concept's just odd. Ranmaru, EX tier. She is a delight. Ranmaru X, specifically. My apologies. She is a delight. She absolutely is. I love her. I want to give her all the head pats. Just like, kind of look at the sharp teeth. Koyan Sky of Darkness, I just don't care. Don't care. Hephaestion. Hephaestion's a great character, but leads into my thing again. I made a video about the Pretender problem that I have, but again, Pretender's a confusing class. Like, they could have just said Faker is the same as Pretender. It's just like a universe or timeline difference, and that's why we use the different things. But fundamentally, they are the same class. They operate the same way. Why wouldn't you do that? What is the logic behind not doing that? Why overcomplicate it? It's infuriating to me. But hey, Bazette, EX tier. I was actually surprised about how much I enjoy the dynamic between Bazette and Manan. I cannot pronounce that. I'm sorry to my ancestors. I didn't look up the pronunciation before starting this video, and I should have, but I didn't. Anyway, I love Bazette. I love the dynamic she has with the god inside of her, which I was surprised about. And also, the second Ascension outfit is amazing. Healthy stay. EX tier. I know nothing about the character themselves. I'm here for the cones. And the cones are EX tier. This one. Oh, that was easily the worst event. Especially following one of the best events. And the character didn't do it much favors. I'm sorry, buddy. It has to be done. But don't worry. She's not alone in D tier. Because I don't care for this man. I don't care for this clown twink. Anyway, that is the tier list for all the extra class servants. I might have went a bit too fast looking at the recording time. Whoops. But hey, too fast is better than taking an hour. All the EX tiers, you are going to hear more thoughts about these ones. There's so many of them. In a future video when I do the ultimate tier list, where I rank all of my favorites, which are basically all the ones from the previous list and this one that got into the EX tier. That's going to be the ultimate list of my favorites to show who really is the top of the top. But what are your thoughts on this list? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm interested to find out. Who are your favorites? What extra classes do you like? Do you like that I went fast, or do you prefer me taking my time? I mean, it's too late now, but for future reference, it's great for other videos. Anyway, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to catch you next time in the void. Later.